Hey everyone! If you have seen my past breeding videos, you probably ask yourself how you are able to see the stat points on your dinos. While modded servers very often use a modded spyglass that shows the points, unmodded servers aren't that lucky. And they have to use tricks, and I'm going to explain those tricks to you now. But first of all, why do we want to see the stat points anyway? The stat points are a simplified way to display the stats of an animal. You do not have to keep the long raw stats in mind, which are on top different for every animal. You only have to remember the numbers between 0 and 255. Stat points are also super important for breeders because mutations are always 2 stat points more on a stat of a parent. That way you can easily figure out mutations when they happen. Therefore, it's also important to know what stat points the parents have. I'm going to show you 3 methods with which you can find out the stat points on your dinos. Each of these methods has pros and cons, but as long as we do not have a proper tool to get the stat points displayed directly, these are our best options. Option number 1, ARK Smart Breeding. ARK Smart Breeding is probably the most advanced option to show the points of your dinos. You can feed your dino export ini to the program and even type in the stats of your dinos manually. ARK Smart Breeding calculates the points your dino has. A big advantage is that you can collect your dinos, compare them, and archive them. ASB can even calculate how many points you have already leveled. A slightly disadvantage is you need a PC that runs the software. So if you're going to play on console because you do not have a PC or laptop, this solution won't work for you. Method number 2, the ARK Incubator. The ARK Incubator method is a little complicated, but in case you play on official servers and you play on console, this is the only method you can use to figure out the stat points of your dino. To understand this method is going to help you a lot, and this is how you do it. First, you tame a dino you want to tame. Usually that's a high-level dino, but it also works with a low-level dino if you take the things I teach you into consideration. After taming the first dino, you need to tame another one, who's on the opposite side of the level spectrum. So if your first dino was a high-level dino, your next needs to be a low-level dino. But if your first one was a low-level dino, the second one has to be high-level. It's important that both dinos are as far apart as possible level-wise. Next, you build the incubator. This item was added with Genesis 2. It does not require you to beat a boss to unlock it, but you can build it once you reach level 89. To run the incubator, you need a generator. To have pen and paper ready or open a note on your phone, whatever is most handy for you, because you now need to write down some stats. Make a table with life, stamina, weight, melee, food, oxygen, and movement speed. Depending on the dino you have, the stats might be called differently. But just write down the stats the dino has. Keep the table itself empty for now. And now you made the 2 dinos you tamed. If you get an egg, you just put it into the incubator and check the stats. First, make sure you do not have a mutation because we want to get the clean base stats only. If a stat has many points, you can assume that it's a stat the baby got from the high-level parent, so you put it into the table for the high-level parent. If a stat is really low, it's most likely from the low-level parent, so put it into the table for the low-level parent. Repeat the mating as often as you need to until each stat showed the level points of both parents on a baby. I'm going to show you how you can get lucky with only 2 eggs. And now you're probably wondering, what do I do when my dino doesn't lay eggs but birth live babies? Thanks to a recent, very nice update, the incubator can solve this problem for you too. You can open the menu on the incubator and activate a buff on yourself, like I'm showing you here. The buff lasts 300 seconds, and in that time you can go to every pregnant female dino and see the stats of the embryo. Then you can write it down. You can then also cancel the pregnancy, so you do not have to bother with baby dinos that you don't need. The female then will switch into the cooldown timer. And here I'm showing you how that works. The pros is you can do this basically on every vanilla server. The con is you need to be at least level 89 or have a tribe mate with level 89 to build the incubator. It can also take a while depending on your breeding settings and your luck. The third method is the admin gun. And that's the third way of finding out the stat points on your dino when you go into the admin mode. You need to have administrator rights to do so. On your server, you type in admin cheat GCM into the console, and if you are on single player, you only need to type GCM. Then you get an item that looks like a hammer and a wrench. That's the admin long neck that has several functions. The most important for us is the inspect function. You can then see the stat points on your animals. Important though, only stat points that are not 0 are shown. The pro is you can see the points directly on the animal. The con is you need to be admin to activate the GCM. The GCM will also unlock all tag engrams and you cannot undo this anymore. So if you want to unlock them legit, rather take another character with another account to be your admin char and check the stats from that one. Those were all the methods on how to see the stat points on dinos when you're on an unmodded server. Maybe that helps you to get access to the stats to compare them proper and build your own breeding group. If you now want to know how the breeding itself works, how about you check out these 2 videos? They will give you the needed background knowledge to become the perfect ARK breeder. Thank you for watching. Bye!